Hi, Tanja here and welcome to TMJ TV, a weekly video series aimed at real estate leaders that would love more time to grow their people and their business. Did you know that leaders spend up to 80% of their time navigating the people, performance and productivity issues within the business? Now this means their focus is off recruiting for results, delivering strategies for success and gaining the market share that they desire. Well, I'd love to help. Every single week I'm going to share insights and free downloadable tools to help you and your people achieve your success in the least amount of time. I hope you enjoy this next episode of TMJ TV. Hi, Tanja here and welcome to TMJ TV, a weekly video series aimed at real estate leaders and teams that want to grow themselves and their business in the least amount of time. Now, my next guest has 11 years experience in real estate. She leads a team of 72 offers nationally and around 83 leaders and just won the Stevie International Gold Company of the Year award out of 3,000 nominations. Please give a very warm welcome to COO of Stockdale and Leggo, Anna Thomas. Hey Anna.
Hi Tant, how are you?
I'm great. Thank you so much for spending some time in the chairs. I was going to say on the couch, but we're in chairs right now, hacking into leadership and what it means to you, what it means to Stockdale and Leggo and what you see in the future.
Yep.
Before we go there, I just want to start by saying thank you.
Oh, thank you. No, thank you for having me.
Well, here's what I want to thank you for. 2.5 years ago, I called you.
Yep.
I was an unhappy vendor
that
had pretty ordinary service from a number of agents. And then I actually had a really great experience, and it was from one of the guys from your brand.
Yep.
And it had me consider what's missing in an industry where you're partnering the sale of people's biggest asset.
Yeah.
And I rang you to give you some great feedback on the agent that was awesome. And then we connected.
Yep.
And then 3 months later, we did the first event for 52 women in your organisation. Yep. So it just feels really fitting for me to start this conversation by saying I'm very grateful for that conversation, for your partnership, and it really was the beginning of me now 2.5 years later having the chance to sit down and interview you as a key leader of influence. So
thank you.
Thank you so much. So you are a mover and shaker. First of all, tell us about, you've just won out of 3,000 businesses.
Yep.
The Gold Company of the Year.
Yep.
And as a result of winning that, you're automatically into the People's Choice Awards, which means the people choose you.
Yep, absolutely.
Which means a lot to you, I know you said before we started. So tell us about that award, how it came about, and what that means to you.
Yeah, absolutely. How it came about was my team, so we have a media specialist, and she asked me whether she could actually put us forward for the award. And I went,
great.
Okay, all right, let's go, let's give it a go. So part of it, what it was we actually had to demonstrate what we'd been doing for the last 12 months in terms of initiative, what our view was on leadership, culture, and what we're actually doing to try and change the industry.
Great.
So it made me really think about, okay, what had I actually achieved, or we as an organisation had actually achieved? And it was challenging in the sense of I kept looking going, have we actually achieved enough? Will we actually be recognised for what we've actually done? And because I don't actually have a real estate background, so I'm coming from it completely differently.
Me either. So this makes both of us.
I'm always looking at the people and what impact does it actually have on the people, and that's people who work with us, but it's also, as you point out, it's people's lives that we're impacting as well. And it doesn't matter whether you're a tenant, landlord, vendor, purchaser, we're actually part of something that is extremely special and such a privilege to be a part of. So how do we impact that in a positive way? And taking that a step sort of back and going, okay, well, how have we actually serviced the people who work with us? How have we made it easier for them to actually service their clients? And when I started to look at it that way, I went, wow, actually, hang on, we actually have achieved a lot. And I think the industry is an extraordinary industry, and it's forever, ever changing. And it's got some phenomenal leaders in it that, are really sort of setting the pace but I still think there's more room.
Of course.
To be able to improve. I think it's an industry that still has a long way to go. And I think we can look at other industries like, like the car industry or like the finance
hospitality
industry. Absolutely. I look at Flight Centre and I look at their whole philosophy around service. It's amazing. But then, if you take it internationally and look at, around the globe what other organisations are doing, there's just so much.
It is healthy to look over the fence of real estate, isn't it? And look at other entrepreneurs and other, amazing startups that have kind of become ridiculously agile and adding a lot of value. So did you find, Anna, that reflecting on what you have done over the last 12 months, did you have a little moment of, whoa, far out? Like, did you have a moment, wow, look at what we have done? Or no?
No.
Oh, come on, maybe you're too modest.
No, do you know what? I went, okay, how do we do it better?
So I do know this about you though. You don't look back often, do you?
No. I look back if I've made a mistake.
Okay.
And I think that's really important. As a leader, you need to go, okay, what can I learn from this? What did we do well? What didn't we do well?
Sure.
And how do we actually raise the bar? And I've got a really big philosophy. If you sit in an ivory tower and think, hey, the world's all fantastic.
With a long beard.
Absolutely, yeah. You're never going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
So for me, it is always going, okay, well, let's raise that bar, because you know what? That's what customers are expecting of us.
True.
So if we don't actually continually go, okay, what are we going to do better? Then you're kind of sitting still.
We get stuck. Okay, let me ask you this. So you don't look back,
No.
only if you make a mistake, so you can learn and rectify. Do you celebrate your success?
I do with my team. Very much so. Like, without my team and without the people in the organisation, we wouldn't be where we are. Do I actually stop and go, oh, wow, look at me, did I achieve that? No. Because I know it's not, I is a really lonely place, it's a we. And I know without the people that we have within the organisation, we wouldn't be where we are today.
Well, I know you celebrate your success collectively, because you do produce some of the best end-of-year productions and events, and where I've seen you in numerous costumes and performances. So and it's good fun too, you know. So what are three things? So in winning the Gold Company of the Year, out of, and you were the only real estate brand, is that right?
I think there were about another 10 or 15 other real estate
brands. All right.
Yep.
So
some I have to admit I'd never heard of before, but obviously being an international, then you're going to go up against that.
International award,
Yep.
about 15 real estate brands,
Yep.
around 3,000 companies from various industries.
Yep.
You won.
Yep.
How did you win? What did you articulate that you believe had them go, wow? And because I said, what does Stevie stand for? And you mean it's crowned.
It's
so
crowned.
you crowned as the Gold Company of the Year.
Yep.
So why do you think you won out of 3,000? What are you doing?
That's a great question to ask. I think it's because we look at things differently.
Yeah.
I always think you need to know what your competitors are doing, but I don't want to follow. And I have a really strong mantra with my team on that. I don't want to follow, let's be aware, but let's set the pace in some other direction, which is basically, I think that's what we demonstrated when we actually put in the award. So we looked at things like leadership, culture, people, digital strategies, service. And part of what we've done last year is we implemented an entire technology platform, which was like phase one, whereby,
you don't do things by halves though, do you, right?
No. So phase one was like, we did mail merging, we did, a marketing 24/7 portal. We looked at our website and completely relaunched that. We relaunched our welcome net. So to give our people the state-of-the-art technology in order to be able to service. Then from there, part of phase two is actually implementing an entire digital strategy. And if you look at it, we're all busy. So from your point of view, you want to be able to go and service yourself when you're ready, but you still want to have that sort of live interaction with someone. So we've taken a combination of like artificial, intelligence as well as real people as well, trying to create a service. And that's the next phase of what we're rolling out. So we're currently testing that in 10 offices with us to iron out any bugs, and then we'll roll
Artificial intelligence.
Yeah, a bot.
A bot, yeah.
Bot. So the bot would go, hi Tan, how are you? I am a robot, so it would actually tell you that I'm a robot. I'm here to help you. And then you might say,
Isn't that amazing?
it's extraordinary. So you might say, what's the land size? And the robot will go, the land size is this. And you might go, okay, well, how many bedrooms are there? Okay, 4 bedrooms. So there are common questions that we know people want to know. But we've had a look and researched. Most of our inquiries are coming in after 10 o'clock at night.
Right.
And
this is really important stuff. You must know, and you must be able to track when and how often are people inquiring and engaging and wanting to reach out. So did that influence your whole 24/7 initiative?
Absolutely. And I was really a little bit hesitant to start going, oh, a robot's actually going to respond. Oh, what service is that actually creating? But when we actually did the research on it, it's actually really common. Like, I don't know whether you've ever gone on a Harvey Norman site, there's a robot actually talking to you. There's another site called Lemonade, there's a robot actually talking to you. And there's another one, Finshaw has an app, and it's extraordinary. It goes, hi, my name is Liz. How are you, Anna? I really want to be a friend of yours. All fantastic
We can have robot chai.
Beautiful. But to me, it's like, okay, how can we actually take that and provide a service, but be really honest about it and be transparent about it.
That I like.
Okay, when there's not a real person that you're actually talking to, we're here to service you. And then what we're starting to try and put into going, okay, would it be okay, Tandra, if, Mary Jane called you tomorrow morning to answer any further questions? So the human will actually still have that interaction, because it's an asset. It's a scary thing to go through, so you still need to have that human aspect to it as well.
I agree. And so what I can hear is you've developed an initiative that gives people the information they want when they want. Whether it's robot or human, the information is still accurate, and you're backing it up with someone with a heartbeat that's going to be able to connect with their story and the parts that a robot, I mean, I don't know if they can or not, but, can't take it to the level that a human can do. Great. Well, many things that then you demonstrated in why, how you've demonstrated innovation and leadership there. So congratulations and good luck. So 15th of September you find out about the People's Choice Award. Okay, well, we'll be watching the Stockdale Leggo Anna Thomas Facebook page on that day, and really all the best.
Thank you.
So I know leadership is something and a subject really near and dear to your heart. It has been ever since I met you 2.5 years ago. Define leadership. For you?
Leadership for me is about rolling up your sleeves and actually being able to do anything you're going to ask a team to do. But you also need to have an emotional connection with your team, very much so. I mean, I look at it and go, the stuff that my team share with me is a real privilege, and I empower. So I think as a leader, you really need to empower people as well. I know they know the answer, and you actually have to trust that they're going to give it their best shot, because that's what everybody has their best interest at heart in being able to move an organisation forward. So it's about it's about being innovative. It's about actually being creative. It's about actually having a go, and it's about standing up when you stuff up and going, I've stuffed up. I'm going to own it, and let's actually fix it up at the same time too.
Do you do that?
Absolutely, I do.
What's the response from your people when you stand up, when you stuff up and own it?
I think they appreciate it. I'll never forget, we went to go live with our website, and then one of my staff pulled me over and said, I think you need to come and have a look at this. And I go, what do you mean? So this is I think a couple of days before I went to go live, and there was another fairly big global company in another industry, and I looked and went, oh my God, that's our website. So I rang every single principal, and I said, I'm not launching our website. And I got a little bit of flack for it, and they said, don't worry about it, it's in a different industry. And I said, no. I said, we spent 2.5 years putting this together, building it from the ground up. I'm not going to launch this. And it was the best thing I ever did, because I reckon we came up with a much, much better website.
Yeah, so there you go.
Angst and stress attached to it. But I thought, what? All I can do is be real and be honest and go, okay, these are my reasonings why.
Well, as the COO of, a brand that has 85 leaders across 72 offices, you're going to have to deal with a lot of different opinions.
Oh, yeah.
I know you are very resilient. What do you do, Anna? Because you also have a big heart. And however, there are times when you cannot focus on being liked, you have to lead.
Yeah.
Have you had many times where you've had to disagree with principals or disagree with the common, that laughter is the laughter of yes, for sure. So it's how long have you got? How many examples do you want? But what's that like for you? Because, as a leader, we go home and not many people know what it takes, especially to lead a business the size of it. How many employees totally?
1,050.
Pardon?
1,050.
1,050 people, all different opinions.
Absolutely. Yep.
How do you stay resilient and unaffected?
Do you
Or
know
what do you do when you are affected?
There's a couple of things. For me, I really believe in what I'm doing.
Okay.
But I believe in our company, and I believe in the people who actually work within our company. And I look at it this way, I go, okay, there's 1,050 people who work in the group. They've either got boyfriends, girlfriends, husbands, wives, and you know what? They're part of our family, and we're partly, responsible for that at the same time. But then I also go, how many other people's lives are we impacting in terms of they've either bought a house off us, they've rented a house through us, they've bought investment properties off us. That's a massive amount of people to impact. So that's actually what keeps me focused.
So what I can hear is the distinction of responsibility.
Yeah.
So you really get the responsibility of leadership.
Yep.
At an ecology level, not just, oh yeah, I'm leading the P&L at the end of the financial year. I'm providing an environment for my people to have great lives to then take home to their family. I'm
Yep.
providing an environment for our clients to have a great experience.
Yep.
Biggest challenge as a leader?
Sometimes I think as a leader, you can often be thinking ahead of where the rest of the organisation is.
Right.
And I looked at a speech I wrote, probably 2 years ago for our AGM. And I went, wow, I could actually stand up and say that speech today. So,
And would it be more relevant today
I think
than
so,
it was? Yeah.
because I think maybe the rest of the world is caught up.
Yeah.
And I think, that is often a challenge is, you're actually trying to get 1,050 people all to row in the same direction. And, particularly my leadership style is very much everybody has a right to have a voice, and you need to be able to be heard, and you need to take all that feedback on board and then be able to drive, that forward. And as a leader, sometimes you have to make unpopular choices, but I do it from, coming with love, coming with care, coming as being an extremely passionate person, because I want to be able to drive it forward. And that, people, culture, that is more important to me. And I go, and the money will come.
Sure. Yeah. I think it's Gandhi or Mother Teresa, lose yourself in service of others.
Yep.
So what are you doing at Stockdale and Leggo to elevate the state of leadership within your business owners?
Absolutely, perfect. We've actually partnered with Deloitte's,
Yep.
And Deloitte's private after we read the Real Estate of Leadership.
Thank you for actioning, taking an action from
Absolutely.
these insights. That's the intention.
Yeah, and we really took that to heart, and we had a look at our entire leadership.
Yeah.
Not only us as leaders, but we also looked at the group at the same time as well. And I sat back and went, okay, I think it was something like 82 or 72% of people said that they were really good leaders.
82%, yeah.
And then I'm going, well, hang on, 10% of those actually were only generating an increase in revenue. Okay, there's a discord here.
Correct.
What's actually going on? But then when I also looked at it, I went, okay, how many really strong leaders do we actually have?
Define strong leader.
For me, it's like, you lead by example. Like I pick up the phone. I'll go and stuff bags. I'll go and sit down at reception. It's, there's nothing, as I said before, that I wouldn't do, that I wouldn't ask my team to do.
So it's real servant leadership. You're willing to be of service to your people
Lead
and
by
therefore the
example.
clients. Yeah.
If you want someone to follow, you've got to be able to lead, and you've got to get them to come along with you. And, and you create that vision, you create that passion that, everybody is rowing in that same direction. So what we did was we actually came up with the Stockies Way, and we came up with actually 6 different pillars that we came up with. And for me, there were 2 really, really important ones. One was leadership, the other was culture, and then from there we took into people, and then we took into, organisation, digital strategies, finance, and all that sort of stuff attached to it. So what I wanted to create some rigour behind it, hence the reason why we went to Deloitte's, going, okay, well, this is what they actually specialise in. They've got something like over 2,000 business coaches, and I went, okay, out of that, we should be able to
There's got to be a massive amount of mastery there.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
but we created it from the ground up. So what we did was we actually got principals to rate themselves, and then we also rated them, and it was really interesting watching the difference.
Was there much of a difference?
I think a lot of, which is natural, a lot of people were actually a lot harder on themselves than what we actually were. But then from there we actually defined what we meant by each one of them, and then we've actually put an entire 12-month program together to be able to do it.
So is that 12-month program with Deloitte's to bridge the gap?
Absolutely.
Okay, great.
Definitely. But what we've done is we go, okay, everybody's in a different life cycle. You know, we've got some people who've just joined us. We've got other people, you know, who've been with us for 30, 40 years. Okay, so how do you create a leadership program around that to be able to service everybody? So we've done that by listening to what everybody was giving us, but also where we wanted to take the company at the same time too. So our first session actually starts on the 20th of October. Yeah. But you actually have to be invited. To be a part of it.
How do I get invited? If I'm one of your leaders, how do I do that?
I personally ring you and invite you.
And what's the selection criteria to get that Anna Thomas call?
Yep, the selection criteria is you actually have to have demonstrated some form of leadership skills. We also need to have a strong culture within your organisation. You need to have a people plan, and I'm not just talking about a recruitment plan, I'm also talking about a people plan in terms of training, development, coaching. You have to have engagement with the franchisor at the same time too. You also have to be able to demonstrate that you know basics in terms of numbers and things like that. But
do you have to demonstrate business growth?
Yes, you do.
At a financial level?
Yep, absolutely. But not only just a financial level, it's also a listing level.
Sure, yeah.
But it's also whether you're up for actually taking on the rigour and actually having to go away, do work, partner with someone, so you have a mentor buddy, and then you actually have to come back and you actually have to present it to your actual peers.
Your team.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, originally it was like, okay, not one size fits all.
Yeah.
And I went, okay, will everybody really want to do this? Just because, you know, this is something that I'm really passionate about and I want to elevate the group with everybody together, may not mean that everybody, you know, wants to do that, because they are in varying different cycles. So that's why we've gone, okay, there's, for the sake of a better word, there's like a criteria to be a part of this. Yeah.
And do you find then, so you've gone through that process?
We've gone through that process, but our first actual session is on the 20th of October.
Do you find then, because it is selection based, that the quality of attendees is a quality that are more likely to implement the learning?
I think so, but it's really interesting. I've got actual people going, how do I get onto it?
Which is great.
Which is exactly what I wanted to be able to...
That's the culture you wanted to create,
absolutely.
Sort of
it's like,
reverse
I
psychology.
Be like that.
Yeah.
Great, perfect. Well, let us help you and let us show you how you can actually be like that.
So that 12-month program kicks off very soon in
20th of October, yep.
And is it monthly? What does it look like?
So there's several different ways we're doing it. There are actually workshop labs that we're actually starting with, and then from the workshop labs, then you'll actually be broken down into group sessions, and then from there, then you'll also have one-on-one coaching at the same time.
Right. Too. And how will you measure and manage the return on investment?
That's a good question. We asked Deloitte that same question.
because in my observation, this industry loves training and development and awesome. And I do see an opportunity for corporate levels and principals to, and Douglas Driscoll and I were talking about this in a recent episode, and I loved something that he said. Training needs landing gear.
Yeah.
So I really think a huge opportunity for the industry, let alone any brand that's listening or watching this. You can't just go to the training and get your CPD points and never look in the workbook again, which is what most of us do. I've done it. We've all done it. You must have a strategy for implementation. Then you've got to have a strategy for measurement, management and review. So, I don't want to put you on the spot, but however, is it something that you've really considered? Nice initiative. How can we measure the return on investment on this?
Absolutely, because there's been a considerable
investment. I know.
Into doing this.
It's a great brand you're partnering with, and great brands don't come cheap, right?
Yeah, so absolutely. One of the things that we've done is we've taken like a screenshot of where everybody is currently at, and that's not just about financial performance. It's also about leadership. It's about their culture. It's about the people.
Team engagement.
So remember when I said we got everybody to rate themselves.
Yes.
So one way of our measurement is actually going to be, okay, when we've completed the 12-month program, we're going to actually get everybody to measure themselves again. But also, I think through the success of this, I think naturally revenue growth is actually just going to come.
Yeah, well, training comes in two things. You're elevating their skill set, and the key piece, really, no shortage of work done here for you guys. The next piece is the individual willingness. There's skill and will. So you've got to develop the skill, and then you've got to be willing to apply the learning.
Correct.
And apply it consistently.
Correct.
So you've got a mentor program, which is great.
So they're going to keep them honest.
Which
so they're
is
actually
fabulous.
going to ring and they're going to go, Chanja, have you done it?
Have you done XYZ?
Why haven't you done it?
Yeah, what's getting in the way?
Yep, we'll give you an opportunity to do it. If you still haven't done it, then you'll be removed off the program. So it's really
Choice and consequence.
very much, okay, you've got to be prepared to put in the hard work, and you've got to go back in and you've got to practice putting it in your business, because there's really no point in doing it if you're not actually going to. So that's why we've broken it down into modules.
So it's more palatable.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, go away, practice this, come back, present it, give us some feedback, and then let's, move on from there.
Do I have to complete all the modules, or can I pick
100%.
and choose? You
Nope.
have to full completion.
Nope.
Oh, is there like a graduation throw the hat ceremony?
Yep.
Great.
Well, to me, it's like, even though every person is going through a different sort of type of life cycle, everybody can learn.
Of course.
And because we've tailored it to, okay, so your business needs, my business needs, they're all going to be very different, it's actually ended up being an individualised program.
Which is great. Different markets, different clients, different team. Okay, great. Well, really look forward to seeing what, transpires, and I will be calling you and going, how's it going, and learning from what you're learning. The other thing I know you're particularly passionate about, Anna, is women in leadership and women in business. So you have produced 2, I think, now events for women in real estate. Why is that something that's important to you, and what is the future that Anna Thomas sees for women in real estate?
Yeah, do you know, it's funny, I think when we first met, it's something that we were both really passionate about, and it's about being able to empower women, and I was really touched after that first event that we actually
It was
ran.
amazing.
It just honestly.
And we did
blew my mind.
archery.
I know,
That was
fantastic.
fun.
It was really symbolic.
Yeah.
But what touched me was the lack of confidence of so many extraordinary women in that room.
Yeah.
So what I looked at going, okay, well, how do we make it bigger? If our group is actually feeling this, we can't be the only group that's actually feeling this. So what I wanted to do was I wanted to actually take it to the industry and go, it doesn't matter where you're from or who you are, we're going to actually offer this. To the industry. And as you know, I mean, it's something that I'm really passionate about, catch up with the property girls, in there doing that. And I suppose it's easy from a woman's perspective, going, okay, well, I'm a woman, so I can relate to that.
Sure.
But it's also not forgetting that, guys also have their own, sort of issues that they go through. So, it's realising partly to be able to empower both. But obviously I can have a bigger impact in the sense of, being a woman. And we ran our second event and we had like over 250 people.
That's awesome.
There, which was amazing. We've had some extraordinary speakers. But this year what we've done is we've actually put a committee together. So because I've gone, okay,
It's getting bigger now.
well, but also too, I've gone, okay, I've taken it as far as like, I want to be able to add we and add a committee. So, we've got like Deloitte, so we've got Domain, we've got Kylie, from CoreLogic, we've got Rebecca Zagami from the Zagami Automotive industry.
Great.
We've got Alicia Stevens, who is the Young Telstra Businesswoman of the Year award, a winner. So they're all really completely different, dynamic women that I think will make a massive sort of difference to where we can actually take it.
What's your vision for the collective?
I'd like to take it internationally.
There you go, there's a vision.
To be able to touch as many women as we possibly can do, and to empower them to be able to believe in themselves. It's funny, I mean, I find it challenging, as a woman, I was like trying to be superwoman, I was trying to be a mum, I was trying to be a really good wife, and I was trying to work in an organisation, and sometimes I go and go, my God, I'm not doing any of this really good at all. I'm in one place and I'd be feeling guilty because I should be home with my kids, and then I'd be thinking about my kids. I'm going, no, I really should be spending time with my husband. So I'm like, how do you balance actually all of that? And it's interesting. Have I got it yet? No, but I'm learning a lot more to go, okay, right, when I'm at work, I'm 100% at work. When I'm at home, I'm 100% at home. So it's almost like I've compartmentalised.
It's a really, really, really important topic, because time management always comes up in surveys as one of the things that people want to get better at.
Yeah.
And I do know women intrinsically can kind of whip that guilt whip of, you know, being at work and missing the kids, and then you're with the kids and then you're thinking about the emails you haven't sent. So we're not really present wherever we are.
Yep.
So that's really good learning and teaching to just go, well, if you're doing the dishes, do the dishes.
Yep.
If you're, you know, working with a franchisee or a client, be with them. When you're with the kids, be with the kids.
Yep. Absolutely.
Because, yeah, this moment is a gift. That's why it's called the present, as they say.
Absolutely.
So who inspires you as a leader?
Do you know what? I'd actually have to say my husband.
Wow.
And
So Peter Thomas.
yeah, absolutely. And
Why? What are 3 qualities about
I'll tell
Peter?
you why, because he was one of the first people who actually went into real estate franchising.
Okay.
How
How long ago?
1987. Yeah, 1987.
Wow.
And you know, he hasn't gone and bought another group out or anything along those lines. He's done it from the school of hard knocks. You know, and I think that says a lot for, you know, the type of person that he is.
Yeah.
He's an extremely passionate man. You know, he's a strong man too. But you know, his vision has always been really clear to, you know, have a really strong, extraordinary company, and it's, you know, it's gone forwards, backwards, sideways, you know, in any
Everywhere in
journey of
between.
a company. But if you think about it, he's one man who's had extraordinary people around him to create what it is today. You know, we've been in the industry for 83 years. We're not 3-4 generations or anything along those lines. That's a pretty phenomenal achievement.
It's a
when you
massive
really look
achievement.
at it that way.
Yeah.
Yep.
Kudos to you, Pete. Absolutely. And, you know, you're right, it's not easy. And to just, you know, keep a business alive, let alone, you know, since 87 is
Yep.
very significant.
Yep.
So you've referred a couple of times to the executive summary of the report of findings that we've done with CoreLogic. If you take a look at those top 3 points on this report.
God, do I need my glasses?
I don't know, do you?
No, I'm kidding.
Which one, if you were to pick one that you believe as an industry we need to address, which one and why?
If I actually said, even though in the report it's quite high, it says 82 principals feel
82%.
qualified to lead their business.
Yeah.
I'd actually question that, to be really honest.
You're not questioning that, but yes. So
no.
you're saying the statistic is 82% of principals say, I am qualified to lead this business.
Yep.
You're going,
Yep, I am.
let's have a look at that.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, great.
You know, and if I look at the industry, I think it's actually quite an insular industry.
Yes.
It looks very much inside itself. If you stand outside the industry, I think there's a lot from a leadership perspective I think we could all learn. And that's not to say that there aren't extraordinary leaders
Sure.
within the industry either, because I think there are.
Yeah.
You know, some phenomenal people there.
And you're doing that. You're partnering with Deloitte.
Yep.
You're getting a committee together for the you know, women in, you know, property
Yep.
group that you're building, and with the vision to take it internationally. So, you know, it's one thing to have an idea. It's a
Yep.
very different thing to action it. And what I know about you, Anna, is you will always action your ideas. And I don't really ever think anything really gets in your way, but you do also do it in a consultative, collaborative
Yep.
way as well. On that note, and to finish up, if 82% of leaders think they're qualified to lead,
Yeah.
I know what you're doing with Stockdale and Leggo.
Yeah.
If you have a message to the industry around that point,
Yeah.
or an invitation, what is it? What would you invite other corporate leaders? What would you invite other principals? What would you invite other businesses inside of that statistic to look at?
I think, you know what, not to be afraid to go, I don't know it all. And I look, like I can look at our own group, and a lot of, you know, our leaders that we've got, they've been phenomenal salespeople, and they've come up actually through the ranks. So, you know, they could automatically have leadership skills, but you can always be better.
Sure.
And you can always learn. And I think as a leader, the moment you actually stop actually learning, then I think that's the moment that you actually stop being a leader. And I think, you know, there's a lot of bravado in the industry, and I think, you know, I think that as leadership needs to be looked at as well. And, you know, you've got to take feedback what the community thinks. You know, they don't think we're transparent. Well, leaders, I think personally, do need to be transparent. They don't necessarily think we're good at communicating. Again, I think leaders need to be really good at communicating. And it's interesting, if you have a look, I think there's a section also in the report where it's actually got the staff talking about the leadership skills.
There's a very different viewpoint.
Yeah, it's like, okay,
doesn't match right now.
No, it doesn't match. So again, probably the self-awareness of really being able to look at yourself.
Yeah. So what I can hear is you're saying it's okay as a leader to not know it all.
Absolutely.
Go outside of the industry for innovation and explore other best practices from other industries. Collaborate with your people and step outside yourself and have a bit of self-awareness to check in and be okay to receive some feedback and never stop learning.
Absolutely. I mean, we've gone to like car sales. I mean, you know, they're an extraordinary organisation, you know, and we've sort of almost like swapped leadership mentoring, you know, where they were sharing information with us and we were sharing information with them. Two completely separate industries, but there's lots of learnings that we can actually share there. You know, and one of the other things is, you know, we've looked at, okay, a lot of salespeople don't necessarily have the income to be able to open an office.
Sure.
So how can we actually partner with other people to be able to kind of like, I suppose, provide a shared services model. So it's a lower cost model, but let them do what they're good at, in the sense, okay, I'm really good at listing and selling. Oh God, hang on, I've got to manage people now. I've got to balance the books, and oh Fred, I've got to actually recruit. How am I going to train and all that sort of stuff? So for us, it's like, okay, we'll take that pain away from you. Start with what you know best, listing and selling, then come through the Deloitte's program and we'll actually teach you the leadership skills.
Fantastic. Well, congratulations on turning your ideas into a reality, being an innovative thought leader, winning the International Award, the Stevie Award for Gold Company of the Year, with 3,000 other, you know, businesses that entered, and really all the best for the 15th of September.
Thank you.
For the People's Choice Award. And, you know, and again, thanks for the conversation we had 2.5 years ago, and the privilege to sit here today and still learn from Anna Thomas from Stockdale and Leggo.
Thank you. Thanks, Dange.
I hope you found that useful. If so, please like it and share it. And if you'd like access to the free downloadable tool, just click on the available link. If you also have any questions or challenges, specifically in the area of leadership or mindset, just write it in the comments below, and where possible, I'll provide solutions to your requests. Remember, let love lead, and you can turn your workforce into the life source of your business. I'll see you next week for more TMJ TV.